he immediately got pissed off, went to his bag and pulled out 2 box cutters and literally like pulls them out like they're these 2 freaking blades, like you just like prepared for it.
Snoring's such a comforting sound to me. My dad snored, so like any snoring is just like it's like ocean sounds.
Guys, don't want to freak you out, but there's a lot of blood. There's some fur laying around. Can't find the cub.
You've been a part of Smosh for so long, and you're such a huge detrimental, hope that's the right word, part of it.
Nope.
What's detrimental mean?
That's a bad.
You're crap. That's not what I meant at all.
Welcome back to Courtney Doesn't Know Words.
We're gonna bump knees.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's okay with me.
Okay.
It's like,
Well, we'll say something funny about Ian and be like, right? Get it?
Don't make any jokes about me, please. Please, I'm a very fragile man. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SmoshCast. Today, I am joined by the very lovely Courtney Ruth Miller.
hello again.
And Ryan, I don't know. Ruth Todd.
Ryan Ruth Todd.
Yep. My middle name's also Ruth.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's lovely.
My middle name's Edward.
And we're here with Ian. Do we have time to take a dump, Hecox?
Yeah, I took a dump right before this, just so you guys know.
And we did have time.
Yeah, starting the podcast off strong, talking about our dumps.
Yeah.
Yo, how was your dump?
I always enjoy mine.
Good. For those of you that are listening or might not have watched Smosh videos from 2 or 3 years past, Ryan, well, you've been our director for 10 years now.
I started directing. I've been with you guys for 10 years, but I don't think I started directing until 2010 or 11. One of those.
That's true, because at that point, because before that it was like myself and then sometimes Anthony, like kind of doing like a little co-directing thing.
Right.
And then we realized like, oh, this is a lot of work, and we're maybe not the best at it.
Didn't when he first started helping you guys, you were still recording on tape or something? And then you had to like tell him like no.
That was the first day we started shooting. The first thing I shot for you guys handed me a Panasonic DVX100 that's still shot on DV tape, and and I was like, no, I'm not gonna shoot on this. So then I borrowed a friend's HVX, and then that was like the first digital shoot you guys had where you didn't like actually shoot on tape, which actually kind of bit me in the ass because since I did that, I was the guy that had to download everything on set. So then that shoot day was like the longest shoot day because I'd shoot, download all the footage, shoot again. It was awful. Yeah, but fun.
You guys are such hipsters, still shooting on film. What are you, Louis Lumiere?
That's a name.
It's tape. It's not.
So
film.
Yeah.
So Ryan, how did we even come across you? Because it was I
don't even know this story.
So before we had Ryan, we got a producer, and turned out they weren't that good. And
that's one way to put it.
Yeah. They gave great first impression. Really talked themselves up, and they got us a few like cool things. Like we got to shoot at like a prison, so that was pretty cool. But they also just didn't do their job very well, and so we needed a camera person, and that's how we got hooked up with you.
Right.
Wow.
Right. And so basically they called me. Well, the long story is it's a lot of people because we were in Sacramento. So it's a very small group of people. So the sound guy that I worked with, it was actually like the worst. It was like the worst setup for like a job interview. It was like, oh, hey, this other person that we worked on this feature film that I had directed, and the sound guy was the same sound guy on it, and then this person was actually our makeup person on that one.
The producer was the makeup person for your...
Yeah. They wore many hats, apparently.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
But our sound guy, we were on a job, and he was like, oh, hey, yeah, do you want to work for this, like, I don't know, it's like this comedy thing, and it's like, God, it's like, I don't even know what it is, and it's like, and it's that one, and he wasn't a big fan of the person either. Yeah. He's like, yeah, you'd have to work for them. And like, I don't know. And it's like long hours and like the lunch wasn't that good on the day. It was like the worst setup. And he was like, but they wanted to talk to you. So, I don't know.
Way to sell the channel.
And I was like, basically I was like, all right, well, that sounds interesting. Again, we were coming back from like, I think a commercial for a hospital or something. So anything comedy or anything like that, I was like, I don't really care. I'm down to do whatever. And then when I got the call, it was actually like straight up a dark and stormy night. I don't know if you remember. It was like this really torrential downpour in Sacramento. And I came over, and I'd already met you prior. And then
I met you at, there was like a weird kind of janky California like film group thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got an invite. Someone being like, oh, we're like a group of filmmakers in Sacramento. We get together and like have meetings. And I went out there, and I think it was you, me, and like 2 other people on like a panel, and maybe 20 people in the audience.
Aww.
I was like, okay.
Was your
like,
first panel?
I guess so, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, at that point, for sure.
And it was nice. And just to be fair, they're very spirited, lovely people.
Yeah.
Everyone was very lovely.
Yeah, they're very nice. But yeah, it's a small group.
Yeah.
Very small group. Because Sacramento's not the most popping in the entertainment side of things. It's mainly commercial, industrial, a lot of political production.
Yeah.
But that's how we met. Yeah.
What year was that? Do you know?
It would have been like 2008 or something.
Yeah.
I think because that meeting I had with you guys was 2009, and that meeting was like 5 months prior to that.
Yeah.
But then I came and met, again, I'd already met you prior. I was like, did the whole like, oh yeah, we met at this thing, yada yada, and then met Anthony, and then had the interview, and then it was like after that, it was like, cool, we shoot next week, and then I think I shot for you guys 2 or 3 different things before it became a regular thing, because you guys at that time didn't have a schedule. It was like you shot kind of once a month or something.
Oh yeah, you guys weren't putting out stuff regularly like at all, huh?
No, I mean like we had our one main channel video we put out every week, but that was it. And we weren't disciplined in filming. Like there were definitely times when we would shoot or we would plan on shooting, and then we'd wake up and like eat breakfast and then just kind of like hang out, talk about the video, and be like, let's get some lunch. And then we'd get lunch and we'd be like, I don't know, do you want to just shoot this tomorrow?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. One of the camera people that we had before you, Ryan, I recall definitely showed up like hungover or possibly still drunk from the night before. Like I remember several times he took breaks from shooting to go throw up in the bathroom.
Oh my god!
I'm like, this is great. So yeah, not a lot of discipline in our first few years of filming.
I think we've kept that consistency. We like to have at least one hungover and or drunk person on set. When we shoot.
It just sounds like college.
It just keeps things fresh. Yeah, it's very much like college.
Yeah.
Well, I like to have that drunk person with the their life not in order, so I feel better about myself. Actually,
I have a funny story about that. When we were in the swing of things shooting in Sacramento, we had another. It was one of our makeup artists. She came on set one day and was like, I'm really not feeling good, and blah blah. I'm sick, and I remember we were like, okay, and so we were like treating her, we were like really nice and being like, cool. In between each setup, go lay down, yada yada. Somebody else, I think it was like a PA on our set, was like. And this, I think, was before Instagram, so you didn't have, like, Instagram stories, but it was, like, Facebook. You could post videos or whatever. Yeah. And she came up to me and was like, did you see her video from last night? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she showed me the video, and she had literally filmed herself up drinking till, like, 3 or 4 in the morning.
Oh,
and I remember just getting so mad, and it was when we shot at my old office.
Yeah.
And she was sleeping in my office in between, and I remember just kicking the door open and being like, get up. Like, we need you to, like, it was like,
my God,
all
amazing.
niceties were gone after that. I was so mad.
You were being so nice to her.
Yeah, because we thought she was sick.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, that's pretty irresponsible and
inconsiderate. I've definitely, like, always made it a thing to never drink to anything that could be considered excess the night before a shoot. I mean, like I the way that I see like shoots is like you're showing up to war, and you gotta be prepared. You gotta be well rested. You don't show up to the battlefield with an empty gun and You don't show. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but basically,
with an empty
gun.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I mean, what are you gonna do? Throw your gun at somebody?
Well, you could scare them. Like, I'm gonna shoot you. I swear, there's bullets in here.
Yeah, that works.
It's very rare to see you have to be like, or ever be like angry or like, like, cause you're a pretty chill like person generally. There's like, I feel like, cause this job was really like my first time being on set like super regularly. Like I was on that music video production set and like those people were yelling at each other like in front of clients and stuff like that. But like when you're mad, you either like, you always like take a step out for like 5 seconds or like you'll throw an F-bomb in a sentence. Like that's like the equivalent of like when you can tell like you're stressed out, but like that's like about it, except for there have been moments that like of other things that have caused you to have to be like that. That time on set, that guy, that was it a homeless guy who came on set one time and
that's the
tried to steal food?
Fruit cup story.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell the fruit cup story?
I would love. I love hearing this story.
Because I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
No, I was. Because that was like an Every Blank Ever that I wasn't in.
Oh, yeah.
So I just heard the story secondhand.
It's very rare to see you like, I don't know, what do you call it? Like, not like come alive, but like when you have to like bring out that inner like tough guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it doesn't come out because on the inside I'm just an angry little man. So I'm good. I'm glad that I've like hid it. No, it's so the story was I remember it was the day of the election to vote for the governor, the California governor. And so we were shooting at a church that day for every funeral ever. That was one of the things we were shooting, and we had all our crafty out. And I don't think it was like a homeless guy. He was a young kid, probably like. I mean, maybe early 20s.
No, he looked older.
He was just grizzled.
Yeah.
Like, I think he was like a young dude, like maybe mid 20s or something like that, but he had no shirt on, just pants. But he was like kind of like I don't know, like a graffiti kid or like a, you know what I mean? Like, because he definitely had a backpack.
A gutter punk.
Well, he had a backpack and you could like literally hear the spray cans rattling in his backpack when he walked up. But anyways, he walked up and we were all like just hanging out and he was like, "What are you guys doing?" And usual answer for things, we're always just like, oh, we're shooting a comedy thing, no big deal. We don't try to like say exactly what it is.
Or didn't our producer at the time, she would say like, oh, we're filming a mayonnaise commercial.
That's always the general response is you say you're filming a mayonnaise commercial, which usually works. It usually gets people to just, go away.
Because it's uninteresting.
Yeah,
right?
except for the time that we were shooting in this park and this like dude like rolls up on a bicycle. And he's like, oh, what are you guys shooting? We're like, mayonnaise commercial. He's like, oh, I like mayonnaise. What kind? And I was like, Taste Good Foods. Because I was just trying to think of like a generic brand that would like, and he's like, oh, never heard of that one.
He was legitimately the only person in my entire career that
ever
said
challenged
that.
that.
No, that was ever psyched about mayonnaise. Everybody else did the thing where they're like, oh, gross.
Okay, but this time we said comedy thing.
So yeah, I said we're just shooting a little YouTube thing or whatever. I think sometimes we'd say like a college video or something. Sometimes that was like a standard.
College
but anyways,
project.
Yeah, college project. So I said that to him. Said, oh yeah, we're just shooting this thing, and he was like, oh, what's up with all this food? Because all our crafty was out. And, and I let him know like, oh hey, we have a large crew. We keep them fed. Blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, can I have some? And I politely said, no man, this is for our crew. We're paying people to be here. And we were and he was really jovial. And so he kind of like sarcastically was like, well, what are you going to do if I take one? So I was just kidding around. I was like, oh, I guess I'd punch you in the face because we were just joking. And he literally just like kind of like changed his tone right there, got like stone face, walked up to, we had these little fruit cups that were just filled with like melons and shit, and grabbed the fruit cup and then held it up to his face, like right in front of me, and just started eating it in like the most defiant way.
Jeez.
And I always describe it, it's like Kill Bill, like everything, like that Kill Bill, like went off, and everything kind of went black and white, and went dun dun dun, and I just smacked the fruit cup from the bottom up into his face. And just started screaming, get the F out or whatever. And again, I barely remember it, so a lot of it's like...
And then an AD or somebody got him out of there real quick or something, right?
He immediately got pissed off, went to his bag and pulled out 2 box cutters.
Oh, that's right! Oh,
he had these 2 box cutters and literally like pulls them out.
He was ready.
Like they're these 2 freaking blades, like you just like prepared for it.
Like a Ninja Turtle.
Pretty much,
Or
yeah.
like
With a
Blade.
backpack and...
Or like Blade.
Yeah.
A ninja, yeah. And our art department, art director,
Lindsay. Yes, she was
who
a
was super cool
badass.
and very tough and could definitely beat me up.
She could beat us all up.
Yeah.
Grabbed him. Well, kind of like came up to him and was like, "Hey, bro, why don't we take a walk?" And just kind of diffuse
Nice.
the situation. And then the cops came, and I felt bad at that point. So I was like, man, just like, I think he was just having a bad day. Because what I didn't know after the fact was the church we were shooting at, that was a common practice. They would have food out. And so people
Really?
could, homeless or whoever could come and get food. So I just,
Yeah, but,
in retrospect from that situation, I'm actually the ass.
but you
No.
explained to him. He asked what it was,
I
and
know,
you said,
Yeah.
and
I still feel bad.
and it was,
At least you didn't get your ass cut.
Yeah, no.
yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
that's
You almost got
so
open like a FedEx box, man.
Truth.
Nobody's
Truth.
ever like pulled a knife out
Yeah.
on me or something. I seen a girl stabbed. That was weird.
What happened then?
We were at like a house party, and then suddenly the house party turned very not cool, and then somebody's like, "Oh, the cops are coming." We walked out of the place, and they're just a girl just kind of like sitting there, and there's just blood all over the ground.
Oh, so
was
you
like-
didn't see her get stabbed. You
You
saw
just
the
saw-
she
aftermath.
was,
Oh,
yeah.
stabbed woman.
And I was just like, "Oh, dang, that
Was this in
that looks bad."
Sacramento or LA?
Yeah, in Sacramento.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like when you have those friends that you probably shouldn't be friends with, and they take you to all the really dumb things.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was one of those things. It was a friend's girlfriend that she was kind of scrappy, shall we say. And she brought us this party, and it's like, nah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it was weird. I think the person probably survived. There's
It's just a flesh wound.
like
Just a flesh wound.
because like a little bit of blood on the ground looks like a lot of blood.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I remember I think I was
turn.
in the dressing room or in the makeup room, and I saw some of the craziness of that day happen through a window.
Yeah, because the way that it was set up was the craft service was right in front of us, and then that window was where you guys were. So you guys
Like,
were.
you would get
you
makeup
guys
done
had like
and
a
stuff.
front row seat through the
Yeah,
window.
I remember
yeah.
seeing like when your eyes when like things got serious. I was like, oh my goodness, what just happened?
Because I remember Shane talking about that. It was like you guys thought I was just talking to some dude or something, and you had no idea until I started yelling or whatever, and then you realize it was like a different situation.
Yeah.
So what was your first impression of me?
When I first met you,
So I'm just smiling at
Oh,
for the people
yeah.
listening. I'm just smiling at him like,
What was
I'm an
it
angel.
like like working with these new people, and it's like were you doing YouTube stuff before then? Like,
well, it's interesting because like I experienced it later on in the same way. So obviously, the early days of YouTube was such a trip to a lot of people. I think because, especially me, like I was, I just directed a feature. I was trying to do short films. Like I thought my career path was very like I'm gonna have to like hustle to try to like get into film or television or whatever. And I was making short films, and so before I met you guys, I was like, am I just wasting my time? Because like there was no outlet for these things. Like I was doing a lot of like film festival things where I would do a 48-hour film festival where
nice.
I would make a film in 48 hours and put it out. Or there was other ones where you'd make a 10-minute film in 10 days. And I remember thinking like, is this a skill set that's even worth anything? Yeah. Little did I know that it was exactly what YouTube was going to become, because that skill set to turn things around really fast is a huge asset, obviously.
Yeah.
So when I first met you guys, and again, that very, very awesome introduction where it's like, yeah, this comedy thing, I looked at it, and again, it was so 180 of anything. So I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what, why are people watching this? Like, what the?
I also wondered the same thing.
Yeah.
About your own stuff?
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing. And it's kind of like, okay. So then when I met you guys, it was like, oh, these guys are really cool. So I obviously got along with you guys very quickly. And then you kind of like grow into the comedy, right? And then once I was like kind of in it with you guys, then I'd meet other people where you have the same experience, where you're kind of like, oh, hey, like, especially people who are hiring.
Yeah.
Like, hey, check this thing out. And they'd be like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then they start working with us, and then they kind of get into it and go, oh, okay. Obviously, Ryan Finnerty was one of the main people that we brought on the first,
Yeah,
and that
our
was like
writer.
the same experience. Was
Yeah.
like, hey, check this out. And it's like, kind of like, okay, what is this? I was like, you'll get it. And then we just kind of jumped in it because we worked on Ask Charlie. That was like the first thing we started working on together. So again, at least that was like interesting because we got to like work on it kind of from the ground up with you and create it. And that experience was really fun. But yeah, I mean, I think the first impression was that, which is like, I don't understand why this is so popular, but this is awesome that it is. Let's just jump into it. And then when I first met Anthony, he was just so pretty that I was just, really embarrassed because I just wanted to impress him and make sure, he liked me.
And you were embarrassed you were embarrassed for me because I didn't hold up in aesthetically compared to him.
It was just easy being around you because it was just, there was no, I didn't feel threatened at all.
Yeah. I get that.
That bowl cut is very disarming.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to me. Not to me.
You guys, I met both of you at the same time in my callback audition.
I didn't meet you in the first time.
You were not in that room?
No. My first interaction with you was great.
It was in Sacramento?
Yeah.
Oh.
You showed up. I'd known who you were, obviously. I saw the pictures, and I knew you were, like, slated, and we got you on the emails and stuff. And then you showed up at the door. I remember this. Showed up at the door to the Smosh house, and I opened the door, and I was like, Courtney? And you're like, yeah. I was like, oh, it's so great to meet you. I'm Ryan. I'm the director. And you were like, oh, thanks. And I was like, cool. Let's get this girl into makeup, make her a meth head, and let's go. Like, that was the first interaction I had with you. And I didn't see you. You went and got into makeup, and you came back, and you were just all methed out.
Oh, my God.
And you killed it. The performance was so funny.
Aww.
It was great.
Thank you. I just remember, like, because the scene was I meet Ian, and I'm like, I'm your Tinder date, and, like, I hurl myself against the screen door and, like, hit a crash pad.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I was standing there at the door, and you were like, okay, so what's going to happen is, and you start directing me and telling me what we're going to need to do. And I was like, oh, my God, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, all these thoughts, I was like, does he know I have zero experience in acting? Do they know I don't know what the heck? And then I just committed. I don't know.
It's okay because all the other actors that we had in Sacramento also apparently had zero acting experience.
True.
That
can be.
You're so mean. That's not true.
I mean,
it's not true, but like
90% of it's true, but 10% of it's
there are some people. Yeah, there's people who.
We had a word for them, and I don't know who coined it, but
I think it just happened like a nickname.
It just kind of happened. We started referring to the actors in Sacramento as Sactors.
Sactors.
Because with the proximity to Los Angeles, if you were serious about acting and pursuing an acting career, you would just move to LA. You wouldn't stay in Los Angeles. So a lot of the people that wanted to be actors in Sacramento, it's nothing against them. Like it's a lot of people like they have a job and they're just doing it as like, oh, it's like a fun thing. I'm trying it out, whatever. Or they're thinking about getting into acting, so it's kind of a nice little like step in. I mean, I think it provided kind of like a fun little quality to our old videos where it's like these people are all kind of like terrible.
Some of them are a
we
little
found some
kooky.
gems. We found some absolute gems.
Oh,
we
Tom
met
Hart
some
being
characters.
our gem of the gems.
Like our old, he was a guy that we always used as like our old man. His name was Tom Hart.
He was the landlord.
Yeah, in
Ask
the
Charlie's
Charlie videos.
Yeah.
And
always got stabbed in the chest.
Yep.
So good.
He was great. And just because, he had just a certain style to him. It was just very endearing. But I could say that about a lot of our actors.
Well, and that's the thing. I think the perception was, and that's the problem when you're trying to cast in Sacramento. Like I was saying before, Sacramento is very, you do industrials or you do politicals or you do just like straight commercials, and a lot of it was print. So a lot of these people were actors, but they they weren't entertainment actors, and they certainly weren't comedy actors.
Yeah.
So we leaned into obviously getting there's a lot of really great theater actors in Sacramento, which would work for us sometimes, not all the times, because sometimes even the theater side of the acting would be a little too much.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we're doing a lot of comedy, so it really, more often than not, we got some really great people from there. And then, just off the top of my head, it was like Brittany, Stephanie. Trying to think who else was really good. Those were like the two top girls that we used a lot.
Yeah, Brittany. Isn't she?
We had one that we really liked, and then we found out that she had like a lot of like furry porn on
her Tumblr.
On her
or something,
Tumblr.
right?
So we kind of started easing off of her.
That's a weird way to put it, but yeah. Also, I actually see her on the flight quite a bit back and forth from Sacramento to LA. I've seen her a couple times, and it's crazy because she's one of the nicest people.
Oh yeah,
you'll
she's
ever meet.
incredibly
She's like
nice.
such a sweetheart. But she is in. She's got a side that's very, very open.
Yeah, I mean, because we're just trying to do a fun thing here, and then it's like, yeah, it's just a little strange if you're working with somebody that's selling their panties on the side. So yeah, Sactors, they're a rare breed. I miss them from time to time, but I also like people nailing their lines on the first go.
True.
So that's just
Yeah, so do I.
Oh, okay. Shut up.
I haven't gotten away from that.
Okay, that's true.
Unfortunately, no matter what city we're in.
What do you okay, so I'm gonna put you in the spotlight here. Like, how do you feel about how you have to deal with like me or Ian on set? Like, have we grown over time? Have I gotten better, or have I always been bad? Do you hate working with me?
No, I don't hate working with either. There's two very distinct things. Just like I obviously have my own very specific tics. With Ian, it's if you don't mind me saying this,
No.
I've always said Ian is the biggest stoner that doesn't smoke weed.
I believe that. That's so accurate.
Meaning, if you've ever hung out with a stoner that like just kind of zones out, you'll do a very specific thing. So a lot of times that'll happen, and I have a good workaround with that. The other thing too is you're very, you know exactly what you want, and it's very specific. So sometimes when we're doing a scene, I'll want to get just like a different. Like I always say, I want as much ammunition going into the edit as possible.
Yeah.
So we'll have nailed a performance, and I go, oh, okay, that's awesome. Let's try this, and you'll kind of go. But no,
But that's not how it's supposed to be done.
And we'll always have the argument, which is like, yeah, dude, but do this for me.
Yeah, I can definitely be a pissy little bee about some notes. It's definitely something that I've had to that I'm still working on is being able to like take notes, because I do have a very specific idea of how I think this scene should go, but I also understand that I might not have the best ideas, so I always try to stay open to getting alts and trying new things. So
it's usually it's really good. Again, and I think most of the time it's always random, because a lot of times you're just kind of, because we do so much, it'll be just that one or two on a shoot day where you've really laser focused on that one. And like I said, our usual thing is, you get to that moment, I go, yeah, man, but I got that. Like, we're solid. I will use that in the edit. Can I have this? And then my default is always like, and if you don't like it, well, then cool. We got like a fun blooper or a fun alternate scene or whatever, which is always, back in the day when we used to show alternate scenes and the bloopers that we shot for the BTS videos and stuff like that. And then now with our bloopers that we run at the end. Courtney, and we've worked it out actually. Like, so on set, there's some stuff, and we actually just had this just recently where you'll get so focused on something that sometimes I think you're like mad. And so we'll sidebar, and we did it, a few shoots ago where I said, can we develop like a signal? Like, and I don't even think we thought of a word. We should create the word on set.
We should come up with a safety word.
Yeah, where I'm like, are you mad or are you just focused? And this was something from actually on the feature that I had done. It was a similar thing where there was an actress that she got so focused on what she was doing, and I would talk to her on set, and we developed the same thing, because I wouldn't know if she was actually pissed off or mad, because her role was like really like kind of crazy. So that's the only thing.
I also sometimes I've worried that, like, because sometimes I'll work on deliveries in my head, and I'll like make faces, like if my character has to like give attitude or something, like you're talking and I do like an eye roll or something, like when I'm doing my delivery, I'm like, oh my god, I hope that didn't seem like I was rolling because I'm like literally working out the stuff in my head. And
it's crazy too, because when you're on set, I'm literally looking at a camera that's like
my
right on your face
all the time.
Yeah, so and that's the hard part.
I'm aware of that, but it's like, and I feel like I've come a long way though too in a lot of ways. Like when I first started, like I definitely didn't have a full grasp on like, not the hierarchy, but like who makes the certain calls, and like when you need to shut up and it's not your job to, Like, I remember when we did every Vine ever. That was super early on in my, like, career with you guys. And, like, I remember is power tripping the word? Not even, but, like, I definitely was, like, passionate about Vine.
Yeah, you were a resident Vine expert, as is noted on your collar. You have a Vine pin. But we're also like, yeah, I mean, like, it's quote unquote Vines, but we're definitely shooting over 6 seconds and we're not really like sticking to it. Yeah.
I don't remember you being, I remember that being pretty positive. So if you were, I don't remember. It's not a lasting thing in my head that it's like, the most I remember from Vine, I think, wasn't that Shane's shirtless, oiled up scene?
The thirst trap scene.
Or was that Snapchat?
That was Snapchat.
That was Snapchat, okay.
There was like a weird, creepy scene for every Vine ever that I was like, we got to cover those thirst trap boys that like do the grind with me.
Oh, I hated shooting that scene.
Yeah.
That was the grossest scene to shoot.
Yeah, and that was really hard to get through because like, and because you guys have your way of shooting it, and I was like, no, I see it totally different. But it's like you guys were already camera up, lights up, like filmed a couple takes already.
Right.
And I was just like, I remember I came in and I was like, it's not supposed to be like that. Like I literally, and I was like, and then like, you were like, you just don't, you're very like, you're very composed. You're a very composed person. And
he conceals it well. He's very much frozen. He does feel.
That's the
he
thing.
Just doesn't show
after knowing you after a few years, it's like I feel like you and I are very similar people, like in a lot of ways. And so I know like you probably feel those emotions very strongly, but you have like, you're very good at staying composed regardless of what the feeling is.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think directing, especially at the amount and level that we do, it's a extremely stressful environment. You're working with a lot of people and not everybody is completely there. Some people are comfortable in the whole process, and they're not treating it. I mean, it's easy for us to just be like, yeah, I'm just coming to work, whatever. Like I'm just doing my thing. And it's easy to forget, like, to treat this like you're coming to a film every time. If we're ever falling behind, that's just further stress on Ryan.
Yeah.
And the amount of restraint that I've seen Ryan have to exercise throughout this entire decade of him working with us is incomparable.
So in other words, who's your favorite?
Anthony Padilla.
Yeah, right.
It actually always shifts. And the one thing I can say too about, like, before I talk about favorites necessarily, because everyone's got their pros and cons, it's an ego trip on set, especially as the director, because I mean, the one thing I've noticed these last few years is it's kind of a coveted position in a way. Like, a lot of people want to do it, because it's like a really fun thing to do, especially if you've written the script, which is a hard part, and that's a big collaborative thing. Like, working with whoever's joke it is, it's like you obviously want to make sure you're working with them to know what the actual joke is, and you're really understanding it. Because if they happen to be the actor on set, and for some reason you're coming at it from a 180, that's going to be obviously really hard for them if they wrote the joke and they're performing. So you have to be on top of that. And then also, it's such a collaborative thing. Like, sure, you're the director, but you're really collaborating with everybody. So I always have to check myself of being like, am I arguing this point or discussing this point because I want to just be the person to make the note, or am I arguing the point because I don't want to like collaborate? And again, my head always goes there, and I go, no, you always want to collaborate. So make sure everyone's being heard. And that's why we do a lot of those situations where it's like able to go, hey, do this one for me. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, we got that one you did. That was great. Let's try it a different way. And then you can get, because that's the coolest thing about what we do is you can try multiple ways and you can play with it in post. And then whatever one you choose, then there's a bunch of options to make sure that really funny thing doesn't just get lost. You can throw it on social media. You can throw it on our Instagram. You can throw it on Facebook. You can throw it at the end of our bloopers. And that's why, I mean, I do miss our like BTS videos, because that's where we could put a lot of that. But just, with Instagram stories and a lot of stuff, like obviously that stuff's so immediate now, so it makes more sense to go there. It didn't, it doesn't really transcend as much on YouTube.
I remember when I was a Smosh fan. By the way, I was Team Ian. I was.
You better have
I
been.
actually was. But
Good.
but the like to knock you back down, I was the girl that was like, I'm gonna like the one that is the less
The ugly
popular.
one. The ugly one. You could just
like
say
everyone
it.
loved
It's
Harry
fine.
Styles. I was like, I love Niall.
Oh,
Like,
Ew.
Niall's
Okay.
great.
Niall's the
All right,
best.
now I'm questioning your
But
taste.
I would back in the day. I would click the link to go to Smosh.com and watch the BTS.
Yeah.
that was
fun.
Yeah,
times.
that was back in the days when websites existed. Like nowadays, no, like
There's
nowadays,
no
like
internet now.
yeah, there's literally just social media
Yeah.
and YouTube and websites aren't a thing anymore. Like I used to go to so many websites, and now it's literally just Facebook, Twitter,
It's for
Instagram,
platforms.
YouTube.
If you do have that website though, you're stoked.
People
So
just
rare.
don't go though. They don't care. And
Well,
now
we gotta make more fun stuff.
well,
for-
but then also like all the social media like networks started punishing the like you and the algorithm for linking outside
Yeah.
of their website. So it used to be really beneficial for us to have like a YouTube video and then link to smosh.com for the BTS.
Mm-hmm.
But then we found out that we started getting hit in the algorithm for linking outside because that was also
Wow.
seen as like a spammy thing, I guess. So
I remember when Facebook, it used to be super, like when you posted a YouTube video, it was like super nice and link would play right away. And then they made it like so ugly and like
Yep.
hard to get to.
Yeah.
So weird.
That's been the crazy game for these last 6-7 years.
yeah, because they just want to keep people on their platform.
It's so gross
I
and
get it.
exclusive. Like let's all just internet together.
Doesn't work
Guys.
like that. Capitalism doesn't allow those things. I'm sorry. Capitalism's a fickle.
It's like my
fickle
parents were
beast.
getting divorced. I had to pick. It's like, don't make me go back there. Just all be,
Huh?
the www dot. We're all at the end of the day. We're all just a www dot. Facebook.co.
Courtney, are you okay?
I just want.
Are you all right?
Can I do a quick disclaimer?
Yeah.
Just because we talked about BTS a lot, and in case we want to put it in, can we let people know that BTS stands for behind the scenes?
Right, we're not
There's a
talking
lot
about
of filming,
everyone's
though,
favorite K-pop band,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I will not say anything bad about because I know that I'll get flamed online if you say anything. Flamed.
We're gonna get flamed.
Getting so flamed, bro. Yeah, don't say anything bad about BTS ever.
The band or our behind the scenes?
The-
Wait.
the
I'd say
band.
both.
Okay.
I'd say both.
Okay, sure, yeah, both, yeah. But one comes with more people ready to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't mess with K-pop fans, man. They're serious.
I feel like a lot of fans you don't want to mess with nowadays.
That's true.
Well,
Like,
yeah, on like a YouTube front, that it's still like burned in my mind. That video of Logan Paul in the fountain at YouTube
Yeah,
those years back.
dude.
That is just
well, okay.
Well,
but
no,
he
no,
also,
I know, and that's what I'm saying. He brought that upon himself, but I was just looking at that, being like, that would just be so awful and so weird,
Yeah.
and to actually bring that upon yourself is kind of odd to me as well. But that's just such a high level of Beatle-esque mania that is so weird.
It's
Yeah,
that
he
group
also-
mentality though. Like
Yeah.
when a bunch of brains are near each other and like they get excited, you all amplify off each other. That's like a
Yeah.
known thing. It's
Right.
like
Yeah, I mean, he totally set that up. He said that he stashed like $1,000 somewhere in the courtyard.
Yep.
So all of his fans then went to the courtyard, and then oh, here I am, right here. Of course, people are gonna freak out. So I mean, there was kind of like a weird PR move.
so weird.
But it made for a great, clip that he could use to show how famous he is.
And it changed like the whole vibe of VidCon after that. I felt like there was a very different shift after that, right?
I mean, I saw scenes like that happen naturally at VidCon a couple years before that when security wasn't so great.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when they didn't, because nowadays, like VidCon picks up YouTubers at this one location, takes them to the back of the place, so they never have
shuttles and
They're never like face to face with fans unless they're doing meet and greets and that kind of stuff. But before, they would just give you like one security guard and walk you from the hotel through the expo hall, and I saw like insane scenes like looks like a
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse. So there's like 200 screaming fans chasing after somebody.
And you've been to every VidCon.
Every
So
single
you've-
one, man. This year's year number 10.
Yeah, it's gonna be year number 5 for me.
Ooh.
It's crazy when you see those fans screaming or running, and
Yeah.
you're just like, "Are we playing tag? Like, who's it?"
Well, you're excited that they love you, but also scared at how
Yeah.
how much they love you.
Yeah, it's not safe.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
You know.
I feel like was it only in the recent years, in the last few years, that they really amped up the security?
I mean, I think part of that was because of Christina Grimmie.
Yep.
That makes
You
sense.
know, that
And
was always,
they caught a lot that year that they increased. It was like it didn't go to waste. Like I remember one of the guys who worked for, I don't know, I can't remember the company that was doing VidCon that year, but he talked about like, yeah, man, we caught huge knives from coming through. We stopped a grown man from chasing down a young girl. Like they literally, it all was like, it was worth it.
Yeah,
And-
VidCon does do a pretty good job at security. I know that if any YouTuber has like a stalker or anything, they give them photos. So security has photos of all the stalkers, so they can stop
So
them.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Christina Grimmie thing was really a shock to pretty much everybody on the platform, because everyone was like, "Oh yeah, like they're just fans, like they're cool." And it's like some people not quite right in the head.
I'm like, and with all of the craziness that's just been happening the last couple of years, like I feel like I get a little more nervous about conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like each year, just like things where it's like it's a specific thing that is special and happening, and there's so many people all so close together. It's like I get a lot more anxious now about it.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't agree to any sort of convention that I didn't trust had security as like a number one priority. I completely trust VidCon. I think that they've done a great job with that. I wouldn't go to TanaCon.
It's happening again, right? They're doing that?
I hope.
Did you go?
I did not go,
Yeah.
but I watched it on YouTube, and it was very entertaining.
I would say it's kind of crazy. Like you've been a part of Smosh for so long, and you're such a huge detrimental. I hope that's the right word. Part of it.
Nope.
What's
that's
detrimental
negative.
mean?
That's a bad.
What does detrimental mean?
That means like you're a detriment.
Yeah, like
What is
I've
detriment?
just been killing the brand this entire
No,
time.
okay.
Which is possibly not.
You're looking for
dire?
no instrumental.
Well, you're just like you're crap. That's not what I meant at all.
Welcome back to Courtney Doesn't Know Words.
I literally don't. I don't. But okay, so you're literally like if not like the spine, the backbone of Smosh. You're a good majority of the brain of Smosh. Like in terms of creating the.
I like to think of myself as the liver that processes the alcohol of Smosh.
Oh.
Yeah.
But go
Yeah.
on. Sorry, go on.
But you're like such a huge part of it, and like without you, like if you just disappear, like it would be a huge. It's a huge impact, and so you are so important, and you're such a big part of Smosh. But you haven't done like a lot of the fan servicing, or like haven't like do you feel like thankful that you don't have to be a part of that, or like do you wish you got to like be involved more in that stuff?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, and that's been the thing with YouTube this whole time, which is like if you're not the person in front of the camera, it's not known to the public that you're really a part of it. So it's like, and I think that's been the perception of Smosh for a lot. Like I think a lot of fans, like even and just people that casually watch it, see it and kind of go like, oh, those are the people that make it. And again, it's constantly
As YouTubers,
yeah, because I mean, honestly, from a fan's perspective, the most that I like, people don't talk to me about being the director as much as they talk to me about being Stevie.
Yeah.
So when I was playing Stevie back in the day, that's when I would get any sort of that like, oh my God, you're Stevie. And you know, and I'd even seen comments that were like directly in contrast to each other, where it's like in one comment, it's like, you know, it's like, oh God, the direction on this sucks, but that Stevie character is really good. So it's like they don't even consciously know that I'm doing both.
You look so different right now, like versus if you were to get into Stevie right now.
Right. Well, this beard just pulls on and off.
It's a sticker, right?
So when I become Stevie, I just pull the beard off.
Oh my gosh.
But
Can you give us a quick Stevie? Sorry,
do you want one?
for me.
So the funny thing with Stevie is I always, to get into Stevie, it's always the very first introduction to Stevie that we did.
Yeah.
In the video, I forget the title. It was something about our new best friends or something. Was that one where you befriend the guys with the pinball machine? And that was like the first introduction with Stevie.
I don't remember any videos.
But my first line is, and I see if I can do it, is and it's always how I practice to get into Stevie.
Yeah, you gotta back away.
Yeah, because it fucks up. But I go, hey, man, I say my peanut butter and jelly sandwich for you.
Yeah.
That's my test. And so once I say that line,
Yeah.
I can engage Stevie.
Yeah.
It's like my,
God.
it's like my Power Ranger belt buckle. As soon as I do that, I can turn into
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think that's how Power Rangers works.
What do you mean?
Turn into a Red Ranger. You
But he
wouldn't
goes, Tyrannosaurus.
Oh, yeah, but he doesn't turn into a Tyrannosaurus.
Well, man.
I wish he would. I wish you'd turn.
But he's
into
like the power of the
Yeah.
Red Ranger.
I think being the liver of Smosh is a perfect description of your sort of role.
Right.
You know, I think the liver is a very underappreciated organ of the body, but it's also
is.
but also you like really need it to survive.
And when you're having liver problems, you can see it in your face.
Oh,
True.
yeah. So you can see it on our
if
faces.
we're having director problems, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like spine, yeah, you can live without that.
Yeah.
But your liver,
Yeah, jellyfish.
I mean, let's be real.
And so the alcohol are our ideas.
Yes.
Right?
The alcohol are you guys. Like you guys
Yeah.
are the spirits.
Yeah.
And I have to filter said spirits through the body of Smosh. But to your point, which is, I think we've built up such a great crew. So I 100% appreciate the comment that it's like without me there would be this gap or whatever we had to fill. However,
We'd
and
be
I-
on dialysis.
yeah, you can go
No,
on
is that
dialysis.
wait, that's kidneys.
Welcome to Ian Doesn't Know Body.
Oh no!
But the point is
Yes.
there's such a great group of people, and that was kind of my point of like there is so many people that are here now and in the past have been behind the scenes that there are plenty of people that can pop into the role, and we have such and in the past, I mean the first I'd say 5 years it was such an aggressive amount of work because not only was I directing but I was producing everything, so. It was just so much stuff. I mean, at one point I even like processed payroll and did like all the paperwork and did the time cards and did like all these things. It was crazy. And so little by little we've been able to, much like more of like a kind of indie film production or a television production, partitioned new people to come in to produce and coordinate and manage. And, even back in the day when, again, I was producing and directing a lot. You were editing all at the time. Ian is bored, and Anthony was editing all of the Smosh sketches.
Yeah.
And like I had mentioned before we brought on Ryan Finnerty, you were also writing everything. So until we brought on Ryan, there was a lot of stuff that we were having to do. So it was really this like 7 day a week. Because I remember the first 3 or 4 years. I worked every weekend practically. It was so much work to get everything done because we'd shoot every week. And then I can't remember when we did it. We finally got smart and started being like, all right, at least let's take 1 week off and shoot double.
Were you single then?
no.
I've
He popped a baby out like right when right when
she's
we
older.
met.
Forgot.
yeah, I was pregnant for 9 months.
Yeah.
And I popped a baby out. It was like that movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But that's also been wild because your daughter was literally just a little teeny tiny baby when we first met. Or did you even have her?
No, I did. So
you did, yeah.
The first, when I'd work with you guys when we didn't have any sort of like office or any situation, she was in the little baby carrier. That you'd snap into
I
the
totally
car.
remember that.
Yeah, I remember one day too. I like I don't think I ever told you this. One day I was there with her, and I think she was like young, and you guys had these like couches before I replaced them. Remember? And they were like couches.
Yeah, they were garbage like hand-me-down couches.
Yeah, they were and they had stains on them.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
remember my daughter, I was there working, and I'd set her on the couch, and she was just like hanging out or whatever, and I did a bunch of stuff, and you guys were in the back, and I was like, all right, I'm going to take off. And then I picked her up, and she had definitely like peed and leaked out the diaper. And so I was like, oh no. And then I thought about it, and I was like,
They won't notice.
And I just left and let it dry. And no one ever said
Oh
anything.
my God.
And I am a terrible person.
Whoa.
But I don't feel bad.
That's amazing.
What?
Yeah. And it was like, I'd say maybe a softball size, little wet spot.
A little piddle.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I mean, nothing. We threw the couches. But those couches were really comfy. I do say.
They
They
were.
get comfy over time.
And again, I made up for it because I literally got you guys new couches. I was the one that brought in the new
That's
ones.
so
Sick.
funny.
Thanks,
I
man.
love that.
Yeah.
Because you felt guilty for allowing your daughter to pee
I mean, I
all
felt-
over our
I felt
furniture.
so-
Nah,
Slightly
he told her
guilty.
to. He told her
Did you even try to like mop it up at all?
I think I took like a wet wipe or some
Thanks.
Yeah, something.
Thanks.
I mean, again, the other thing too was it was just like I think, like I said, our schedule was so aggressive, and I remember my first car. My first car was actually the 2 cars I had for the bulk of production in Sacramento were just destroyed on the inside from Smosh shoots because I would throw gear in there, we'd use them on set, and they would often be the picture car that we would use, so they would get little things. I mean, I remember, again, pretty early on, it was right after I'd got my car, we drove to LA to do a shoot. It was the Lou Ferrigno shoot. Yeah. And he had to have that big boulder that he threw for the thing. Yep. Right? And I had to go pick up that boulder in my car, and it didn't fit. So I was like trying to wedge it. I had a
Jetta GLI.
Jetta GLI, and I was trying to like shove it into the thing, and it was the little speaker cabinet in the back seat was cracked because I shut the door on it and it cracked my speaker encasement. Yeah. 2 days after I bought the car or whatever, maybe like a week. But yeah, but I mean, it just so I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all.
All right. Ryan still lives in Sacramento.
Yeah, dude.
Because he's a crazy man.
Sacramento represent.
So he actually flies down here every gall darn week to work with us. I think it's crazy, but I also completely understand.
Sacramento's so dedicated.
Sacramento's a nice place to like raise a family and stuff, and LA, not quite. So because of that, and to save you some costs, so you could send your daughter to college. He stays at my house for every other week.
Yeah, I do a combo.
Yeah.
I shack with you, and then I do like an Airbnb situation.
Every now and again, or?
I kind of hop back and forth.
Yeah.
So, Ian's been nice enough to let me crash kind of every other week.
Yeah. Where do you sleep?
With Ian.
Cute.
In his bed.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Aw. No. I would do that. You guys should do that.
Would you?
Guys.
Why?
Well,
because girls are more comfortable.
Yeah, girls can do it, but
when they're close friends, it's like I had a twin bed when I was a kid, and it was like me and my 3 friends would try and like all sleep in a. We'd be like, some people have heads on other sides and stuff, but like, come on, guys,
that's adorable. You were also like how old?
15.
Okay, so you're already big people.
Big people. You're already big people.
You're already big people.
I've done it though. I mean, I'm not. I just snore really loud, so it's like nice. I even feel bad for the people that my family, because I definitely have some sort of deviated septum situation. Yeah. That I need to. Which is funny because sometimes you'll let me know. Like I sleep, on your couch, which is far away from your room, but he'll come in the morning. We'll wake up in the morning sometimes, and he'll be like very nice about it, but just kind of slide in and like, yeah, man, like. You were definitely snoring last night, and I feel terrible.
I've never been. I don't think I've ever been woken up by it. I just like I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I hear him snoring. I guess he's sleeping.
Right.
But it's never been too bad.
Snoring's such a comforting sound to me. My dad snored, so like any snoring is just like it's like ocean sounds.
Oh, really? Interesting.
You like the sound of a snore?
I'm not like yes, it's snoring, but like when I hear it, I'm like, all right.
So tell me if this is soothing to you, because this is what it sounds like.
Oh no.
That might wake me up.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I'd like to apologize to anyone that triggered on the podcast.
That triggered so many people.
My dad's more like...
Oh, that just sounds like the ocean.
Like an ocean crash,
yeah. That's really sweet. See, that makes me like your dad even more. I already met your dad, and I really like him. Now I like him that much more. He's a sweet guy.
He's basically the perfect man.
So do you guys you guys are just like two guys like hanging out in your house? Do you guys watch movies together?
Yeah. So we basically say that we're like what, a divorced like.
We're like divorced. No, we're
like two bachelors.
No. Widowers. We're widowers.
Oh, we're two widowers.
It's gotten kind of dark.
Yeah.
So we're two old men that are widowers. Our wives have passed away, but we found comfort with each other platonically.
Cute.
Yeah.
And
we each microwave our dinners.
We straight up have microwave dinners that we have prepped for the week.
Wait, because I know you have like your thing, your set diet thing, but what are you having?
I just do the same thing to keep costs down while I'm traveling and to be efficient, because again, it's like when you're traveling a lot, because I'm doing this now, but I did it when we were at the other place too. I mean, I've been traveling down to LA for 4 years now.
Been a while now.
And when you do like Postmates and eat out a lot, you just look at the costs and it's insane.
It's like $500 a month sometimes.
Oh, it's crazy. So I try to kind of just like get all my shopping done at the beginning of the week, and again, a lot of times we're working such crazy hours, so it's by the time you get back to wherever you're staying, you just kind of want to know food's there. And obviously, it's just easier to have something like a prep meal. And I go to Sprouts and I get their prepared meals, and they're very delicious and very nice. They're super good.
I remember during during the shutdown, you guys. I remember we had a shoot day. I came in. You guys were like making breakfast together.
Oh yeah, and you're like, "Can I have some?"
You guys
and
were
we're
like making eggs
sure.
and stuff.
Like then we tossed you some eggs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes he's cooked me breakfast. That's been
So
lovely.
cute.
He's been a very good roommate. He cleans up after himself.
Are you a good roommate?
I mean, like,
I know it's your house, but like, yeah, like you're sharing and.
Oh, he's very nice. He's not a roommate. He's a very good host.
yeah. I think that's a good way of putting it.
And there's luckily you have 2 bathrooms, so your poops are never conflict.
Exactly. There's no poop conflict, and because I have a tankless water heater, never run out of hot water, so that's
Showers
not a
don't
problem.
conflict.
I've never told you this, but I enjoy the hell out of your shower. It's like, it's kind of like the shower head's like a little like. It's like it's a little calcified or whatever, so it doesn't come out clean.
Yeah, it's a little messed up.
But it almost feels like you're under like a really warm waterfall, and there's a lot of weight to it.
Yeah.
And the problem is I could straight up probably take like a 40-minute shower in your shower, not even thinking about it, because I zone out.
That's okay. California's out of the drought, so use all the water you want, bro.
But don't you still pay for that?
Yeah, that's true. Don't do that.
Yeah, for real. Like that's messed up.
Yeah, you don't want to bring the drought back, my
Well, it's
guy.
okay. We got that Audible sponsorship. We're good, man.
I just but I'm just I often, and then also in your guest bathroom you have that really cool shower curtain that has all the different words on it.
Yeah.
And I zone out.
You got some light reading.
I just read in and I discover all these words, and then I try to like work them into like sentences throughout the day, but I often forget, and I get it wrong, kind of like telling you you're a detriment to
Smosh. Detrimental sounds like important. It sounds positive
No,
to me.
No, it
not when you
doesn't.
know the word detriment.
Well, when you know the word, yeah, but when it's a new word. I've probably been told I'm detrimental many times and was like, thank you.
Yeah, probably.
I do that on set quite a bit, actually. Like, I will use words totally wrong.
Like in Scott Pilgrim.
Also, I've been teaching Ryan words. He didn't know Stan.
Stalker fan.
That's been the big thing. So it was Stan. I didn't know the concept of Chekhov's gun. I apparently had never known that.
Yeah.
And I knew the concept, but I'd never known the name.
Yeah.
And then there was one other thing that so that's been the thing as roomies.
I'm teaching him words.
Ian's educating me quite a bit.
That's cute.
Because I was like, I forget whatever we were watching. I think maybe it was like we were watching Killing Eve, and I was like, "We stan a psychopath queen."
We stan.
And he's like, "What?" I was like, "We stan a psychopath queen," and he's like, "What are you saying?" I was like, "Stan."
Oh my
It's like,
god! Because if you had said that to me, I love Killing Eve too. It's so good. So if you had
Dude.
said that, I would have been like, "Yes, we stan."
Yeah, I don't know if I stan her. She's Can we just like quick Killing Eve
Oksana?
aside? Yeah.
Oksana, she kind of hot though.
Oksana's
Sure.
the best.
Yeah.
She's. I mean, other than the murderous thing.
Yeah.
She's really good.
That's that's another thing that Ryan and I do. We microwave our food, and then we take it to my living room, and we sit down at the couch and eat our dinners and watch our programs. So
Cute.
Which I have to say is really refreshing, because since we're not like, we're not actually in a relationship, it's actually the best situation. Because like, if you were to like watch a couple episodes, I wouldn't get mad at you for it. I'd be like, oh, that's cool, whatever, I'll catch up with him. But in a relationship, I feel like that's such a cliche.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, you watched episodes without me. I hope we can actually get there one day, but for right now, it's really nice.
yeah, I mean, I was holding off on watching Pen 15 for a time that we can go back to watch the rest of that.
We should, though, because now we
should.
finished Killing Eve,
'Cause we
so we should go
finished-
to Pen 15.
Yeah, we finished Killing Eve. It's great because it's, we get home around like 7 or so. And so we have like, a couple hours to like watch things.
You guys are so
So-
freaking cute.
I
Why am
know.
I so alone?
And then Ian's
Well-
actually really nice, because typically around that time is when I have like my nightly FaceTime call to my family. So he's like nice enough to pause, and he does a little pause, and then I FaceTime the fam for a little while, and then I come back and we start our show again.
Yeah.
It's really lovely.
Yeah. It's a nice
couples
situation.
goals is what it is.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Yep.
Yeah. Works out. And I get my dishes clean, so it works out for me.
Well, that's the thing. If I'm a guest, I do it actually at the Airbnbs too. Like
Really?
my whole thing at the Airbnbs is I want to make it when I leave. I kind of want to make it look like I wasn't there.
Oh yeah.
You still pay the cleaning fee. They're obviously still going to pay for the sheets and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and all the bathroom situation. But as far as like dishes and just the funny thing too is I always make my bed when I leave too, even though I know they're just going to pull them off.
No.
There's something about like, and it's really nice. Like people are very cool and they comment. They're always like, I get a lot of comments that are like,
Oh,
wow,
nice.
he was like the perfect guest. I couldn't even tell he was here.
Aww.
So yeah, I try to do the same thing at Ian. So I'll like, do whatever I can to help out because it's very nice of him to let me stay.
I stand a power couple.
What's that, Stan?
I don't know what that means.
Stan Lee.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Stanley
Rip.
Tucci.
Rip.
We Stan.
I love Stanley.
You guys watched the Joker trailer?
Yeah.
No, I don't do
didn't
trailers. I don't.
I know. I've lately been kind of
Certain
trying to
ones.
stay away from trailers.
I feel like I should have seen the trailer for Us though. But like Avengers, I'm like keep that shit away
Yeah.
from
Well, you can
me.
do the first ones. I think you can do the first ones, but when they go further,
Yeah.
like Black Panther was the big one. The first two Black Panthers were great. And then I
Yeah.
watched the third one and they revealed the whole villain character of what he was going to be, and up to that point you didn't know what Michael B. Jordan's character was going to be, and I was so pissed. So after that point I started throttling back. I'll watch the first couple, but if you're starting to see that third, fourth, fifth, there's going to be so much.
Yeah.
And Avengers Endgame was a big one because
Yeah.
when they're all walking to the ship.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I just want to
okay.
see the shot in the theaters, and I want to get the chills. Like I happen to come across a GIF. I'm gonna say GIF. I'm very self-conscious.
That's fine.
No, GIF is the correct way
It
to say
is.
it.
Choosy
Okay. I'm
programmers
glad I'm in a
choose GIF.
safe
Nope.
space.
Kevin behind the camera shake his head no.
Yeah, those
Kevin,
people in
you're
our
wrong.
editing, our editors think a lot of them think it's GIF, or
Well,
even if
they're-
it is
no,
GIF.
The
they
guy
say
that
GIF.
created the
Yeah.
GIF said it's
GIF.
GIF.
Because
But,
it's like the peanut butter. Choosy programmers choose GIF.
I saw
Exactly.
one of a really cute shot from Endgame, and I was like, man, I would have really loved to see that in the movie and
Yeah.
nowhere
Right,
else.
It's
It would
yeah.
have
So,
hit me so hard.
but it's so funny because now I just hear trailers secondhand. Like I just
Oh,
hear
yeah.
somebody else watching
Someone's
it.
always watching
So I'm
one.
usually able to like pinpoint like what it is because it'll be like, I mean, Avengers is obvious because that orchestral theme that they have
Yeah.
Right,
is so like I got chills just hearing. I didn't even have to see it.
Yeah.
I just heard that orchestral like arrangement. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. And then the Joker trailer, like whatever it was, like the music that they used or whatever, like I heard it for like 5 seconds. You were watching it, Ryan, and I heard. I was like, oh, is that a Joker trailer? And you're like, yeah. I was like, oh,
I think it was the combo too because it's the first time you hear Joaquin Phoenix's character kind of do a laugh, like a cackle, and it was like the music and that, and then like shortly after, like just a second or two, you're like, oh, is that the Joker trailer? So I think you kind of just like subconsciously put it all together.
Nice.
The trailer looks good. The movie looks good. I think it's really interesting. And I love Todd Phillips.
I think it's so random that the dude that did The Hangover is now doing this like really dark Joker thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I guess if you know how to work a camera, maybe you could do it for comedy and for scary. You know?
Frozen trailer, I'm glad I saw. Because that one, I feel like I wouldn't have been super psyched to see Frozen 2.
Yeah.
But the trailer that they put out, I mean, it's the first one, so they don't really tell you, like, anything. But, like, that one got me really excited.
Me too.
Well, do you remember like the Cars 3 trailer?
No.
How they made it like
Oh,
super
yeah, they
dark.
made it like he freaking died.
Yeah, they made it like he died, and they're like this October, Cars guy frickin' dies at the racetrack.
Yeesh.
Why did they use the VO of Cars guy? Why didn't they just call him Lightning McQueen?
No, they call him Cars guy.
That's weird. See, that seems like a bad choice right there. Just to like,
Big red Cars
Cars guy.
man.
it's like they
guy.
just phone it in. Like nobody like big car guy, and then like like Southern drawl tow truck guy.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be it. See, I'd be in on that trailer actually.
Larry the truck guy.
Yeah.
Truck boy.
But like, I wonder if they're doing the same thing where they're just trying to rope people in with this very like dramatic, like dark looking trailer.
For Frozen 2.
But they also just look
got me.
really good. I like the fact that their hair is different. I'm so excited. I don't know why. That's just a thing. You're like, whoa, their hair is different. Like that's why Barbie did so well for so long. It's just it's a thing. Just
Did you notice that?
her hair.
No.
See, I didn't notice
Elsa
that either.
puts it into a low pony.
That
Are
must-
you kidding?
That must be like
Oh,
a. That must be
right.
like a.
and then
perception
Anna
thing.
does something different too. It's crazy, dude.
But she put it into the pony so that she could run over
Yeah.
water.
That was the
What
reason
was she?
it changed.
What was she gonna do? Just run across a whole ocean?
No, she's trying to
she
surf,
can.
bro.
She can.
She
She can run across.
She's
the
trying to hit
whole
that big
ocean.
wave.
Yeah.
She could probably make herself fly. She can just take the moisture out of the air and make a. She could frozone it. Frozone.
Oh yeah.
Elsa 3.
Frozone.
Frozone.
That would be the most ambitious crossover.
Who would win a fight, Elsa or Frozone?
Depends. Does he have a super suit?
If he can find it,
I think Frozone would win. I'm just gonna say.
I think Elsa could win.
Yeah, well, I agree to disagree.
All right, well, Disney,
So,
do something about it.
as if to pretend like we're on a road trip, and I'm one of the worst people to be on a road trip with
Okay.
because I pee every 20 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Do you really have to pee right
I
now?
have to. I'm. Have you ever
Literally,
seen-
are you dying?
I've been doing this.
No, that's fine. Let's just wrap this up with some more funny news.
Copy.
Funny news.
So today's funny news, or what do we call it? Ian's funny news.
Is it actually funny?
So yeah, I think it's hilarious. I just rolled my eyes a little bit. A jaguar was recently artificially inseminated
Oh, yeah.
at a zoo, and 2 days later ate the baby.
Yeah, it was the first jaguar born of artificial insemination. The mom
Yeah.
ate the baby.
Yeah.
I hate this story. It's so sad.
Is it just like this? Is it natural? I don't.
I'd imagine.
But I was also reading that apparently this actually does happen. So
Yeah.
it's not.
They eat the cubs. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes the male lion will eat the lion cubs. Like,
What's up with that?
what's up with that?
I know like hamsters do it all the time. Like you have to like legit like separate the babies
When
from
you
like.
need your wife's attention.
I think it's a Sparta thing. I think
Yeah?
it's like they sense.
This one is not worthy.
Yep. And they're doing it's like from
Wow.
300. They're just tossing that baby off the cliff,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
which is sad
It's
and
very
depressing.
sad.
And I'm just not a big fan of this news thing. I'm just gonna say. I think it's a really dark.
This
tone.
news isn't as funny as the teachers getting shot with airsoft guns.
Still dark, but you have a dark sensibility, and that's
You
fine.
do.
It's true.
You should be in the the Universal Dark Universe series.
I think it's just funny to. It's kind of like a Schadenfreude kind of situation because they probably spent so much money and so much time
yeah,
For the-
dude.
like making this happen. They were so proud of
with the
themselves. They probably
Jaguar?
and they probably had this big old party, and like in the middle of them like chugging champagne, dude comes in.
She's like, I'm gonna eat it.
Guys, don't want to freak you out, but cub is missing. There's a lot of blood. There's some fur laying around. Can't find the cub. Just putting it out there. Keep
no,
don't let me like hold up your party. That's fine. Like you guys got the hats on, you got the streamers, you got the little finger foods, you got the champagne. Like you do that, but like once you guys are done, maybe come out. We all try to find the cub. I'm not saying that it definitely got eaten.
Should we put up some signs? Do we need a lost jaguar
Do we need
kitty?
yeah, you probably. You know what? It's probably just on vacation. It probably walked off. We just need to go find it.
I'm done with you.
Yeah, I'm done too.
Can't believe you're making Ryan hold his bladder in.
I derive much pleasure.
Whoa, pleasure.
I derive much pleasure. Ryan,
Once upon a time.
once upon a time.
Oh, we're doing the us thing now. Cool.
Yeah, that's the end of that.
I can't. Okay. Well, yeah. I think I think that's enough for this SmoshCast. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I hope. Thank you. Thank you.
Dude, I don't know.
You're very welcome, and I very much enjoyed it, and I love talking with you guys
Oh,
in this kind of
love
setting.
talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I stan you boys.
Yeah, I stan it.
Great.
Do you understand now?
Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to subscribe to the SmoshCast, I highly recommend you do that. You can do it on any of the podcast apps that exist in the world. And you can also do it on YouTube if you want to see our pretty little faces. But it'll be censored on YouTube, just so you know.
No naughty words and no titties.
Noted. None of this. Anyway, we'll just cut that out.
Okay.
Or maybe we won't. Who
Love
knows?
you,
I'm just trying to
guys.
extend this out so Ryan pees his
We're
Okay,
trying to
I'm
make Ryan
leaving.
Todd
No,
piss his
it's,
pants.
this is what you get
can
for
go.
making your
I
daughter
give you
pee on my
permission.
couch.
Listen, we don't want liver damage on the body that is Smosh, okay?
Okay, that's true.
Can I
Okay.
seriously just go
Go,
to the
go,
bathroom
go.
real quick?
Go. Just go.
Okay, yeah, just go.
All right,
That's
thank
fine.
you.
If you
Free
want to just
him.
like, wow, he
I'm
just
outta here.
leaves our podcast
Listen,
like
Ian,
this.
I need to talk to you.
This is inappropriate.
He had to pee so bad, it made me have to pee. Like, you look what you did.
This is payback. He let his daughter pee on my couch. This is all payback because I did not know about that.
Well, he almost peed on the chair.
Yeah.
All right.
Our guests have to sit in that chair too, so I guess it's probably not such a good thing.
I love you. And I love you
too.
listeners.
Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next Wednesday and on Friday on the YouTubes. Goodbye.